Welcome, everybody. So sorry. I had the stream set for Twitch. So here I am. I'm sitting in the dark. Just got into my office. Sitting in the dark, getting everything set up. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm sitting here in the dark. Just got into the office, and I'm getting everything set up. Having a good time trying to do that. Having a happy day, and then all of a sudden, I realized that I'm on Twitch. So if you got a startle and you got like a message sent to you, "Hey, Exo's on Twitch," me bads. We did Twitch on Wednesday, and yeah, that was an experience. Shocking enough as it was, as soon as I get into the show, as soon as I start it, there's somebody there. Shaka, thank you so much for being there for me, man. I did not ask him. I did not reach out to him or anything like that. He was there. And so, man, that was so cool. So shout out to him, and shout out to Ghost Girl. Thank you so much for being there. You know, it's amazing. Maybe one day we'll have Ghost Girl here. But it was great. It was a great experience. If you guys want to go see that, head over to twitch.tv/the X_O. And yeah. So that happened. You know, it was a great stream. We were playing Star Miner. We were having a good time with that. We had a new person come into our into our group, and was somebody who liked Star Miner and was watching us and was giving some hints and tips along the way towards the end there. And then we finally ended the stream a little early, like 5 minutes early, but it was a great experience. I appreciated everybody coming there and having a good time. Hopefully everybody had a good time. I need to wet my whistle, so I hope you have your cup of coffee. Of course I do. Ooh, I almost spilt it on myself. That would not have been good on a white shirt. We're officially June 5th. Oh, which, by the way, I guess I need to fix that on the stream. I'll fix it on the stream. I know it doesn't say the current episode down below. I kind of scrambled to get the stream started. But yeah, we're here now. Before anything, I want to go ahead and get out the way. I completely finished Spider Noir, and I have come to the realization that binge watching is not okay. Bad Exo, bad Xyler, don't do that. I literally binged watch it, and now I'm missing it. I feel like I don't have enough Spider Noir in my life. It's sad. It's so sad. Literally had a great time watching it. It is a must watch. And not just once. Twice. Like, I cannot express this. Their direction to do a traditional black and white and a multicolor. This is what we're talking about by coming into the industry, taking a bit of media and doing what's called transmedia, where you take from a IP or from an actual like movie, because technically Spider Noir wasn't supposed to be like in the verse in the world for a while. There was some murmurs about it, and they put these specific characters there to kind of encourage like future ideas. That's just part of the industry. You put a character out there hoping that people iconicize it, and that's what happened. Whenever we were blessed with Miles in the Spider-Verse, Spider Noir was one of the Spider-Men that actually came over and helped Miles and during the multiverse thing. And everybody from that point on was like, we need more Spider Noir. Like, and it needed to be Nick Cage for obvious reasons. And Nick Cage blew it out the water. The whole entire season, I don't want to really like ruin too much, but really superb actors in every position, in every role, played and was in each position perfectly. So director, casting, everybody that builds the scene up, fantastic job. Like, wow, we are one full week into having Spider Noir in our minds, and I'm hooked. I want more. So yeah, don't binge watch, because then you're gonna be like, takes too long for things to get out, and media coming at us fast is not really always the best idea. I like the trickle. Don't drop a whole season. Give me a trickle. I can't be responsible. I can't. I won't. I will enjoy that episode and want to watch another one immediately after. And 8 episodes. Just 8 episodes. So really good. I suggested it's on Amazon Prime Video. If you got Prime Video, do it up. Yeah, can't stress that enough. It's been an exciting week. I want to do a small update because we didn't do a dev blog update this last Tuesday, and the reason is because there wasn't really much to update you guys on that hasn't been communicated already. And the biggest thing is we're running out of funding. Like we're running out of the means to be able to do some of the things that we've like accelerated into, and even including this month, because a lot of things had to get paid for this month, and that kind of bled us kind of dry, especially with using base 44 for all of our like major operations. We're almost there. We're almost there. So I hate to do this, but I'm encouraging you guys to get over to the site, go and donate where you can. We need to try to at least raise before Monday. So this weekend, reach out to a bunch of people, reach out to whoever you can, say, hey, go to this website. I know it says like that fundraiser ends on the 1st, all that kind of stuff. He's trying to update the website, but he's running into roadblocks. See who you can. Get over to the site, donate $10. If you get 10 people, $10, there's base 44 and more. You know, there's like a whole bunch of different things. So I really heavily request that you guys help me out, fan out, make this a lot more fun, and bring more people here to the channel. Like, I would love for us to have like 1,000 people watching at one point in time. That would be fantastic. So, all right, there's my plug for the day. There's my little shameless, please help me. But we're gonna go ahead and get on to today's activities. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. You've been around YouTube long enough. If you like what you see, you know what to do. You hit a button. If you want to stick around, you hit another button. Go ahead and do that thing when you're ready. I'm going to go ahead and going on here? See, I'm usually more prepared than this. But you know what to do. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure that you make a comment down below. If you can, talk into the chat. It helps a ton, especially whenever I sit there and I blow through all of our content for this for this morning, because I do it just like I binge watch. I go from one topic to another because they're great topics. All right. Speaking of which, hello, where are you? It's not what I wanted to do. I had my yeah, I put in my password. I will say this, that going over to Twitch, I was highly apprehensive. And then to the friend that may be showing, it's not about whether I agree with the content that other people are doing, because I can't change that. People will do what they will want to do. But what I can do is try to spread positivity where there isn't. Try to spread, an image of goodness wherever I can go, no matter who's looking. So the only reason why I had some of those doubts about going into a place that has just kind of like given into a lot of that, I agree. I could be part of that positivity that is in that area and space. Okay, I had to log back in. So let's go ahead and get into this. We had so the biggest thing I think everybody is talking about is last night's sky lit ablaze with the northern lights. So we had a severe geomagnetic storm that happened last night, and so we had reportedly 4 earthbound solar storms that hit simultaneously, making the aurora borealis visible across 25 states, as far south as Illinois and Oregon. Not down here in Southern California, unfortunately, but here's what's really shocking about that to me is when I was a young kid, it happened. I was in Ohio. We had the aurora come all the way down to where we were, I think in Columbus. And I remember nothing but like I was too young and to really understand what I was seeing above. So that was when I was a kid. I was in the 90s, I think. Hold on. Let me see. That was when in the 90s did the auroras can be seen as far down as Ohio. 1991. Yeah. So it was I was a little person. I was a wee little person. Oh man, how was it? 4? I was like 4 years old. No, I couldn't have been 4 years old. Definitely did the math right. I was 4 years old. Hey man. When did I go to kindergarten? I was in kindergarten a year after that. Nice. But I do remember everybody talking about it. Everybody, saying that they got to see it if they could see it, and that it was a rarity. Like, you'll only see this ever and once in your lifetime. And I could have sworn like every, not to try to like put it out there as a conspiracy or anything, but like since the late 2010s, like into like 08, 09 and into 10 on to now, I feel like it's like now it's rare still, but it's like it's in the news more often than it isn't, which is really, really cool. That we're in a lifetime where we're getting a lot of cosmic interaction with our planet. A lot of people might be scared about that, but not everything in the cosmos is scary. Just a thin layer of dust can create a splash effect across the sky that we could fly through, and it would harm nothing on our planet. So, but that is so cool though. Like, we had 25 states all the way down. The aurora comes all the way down into the states, and it was for a brief moment, but at the same time it was reportedly 4 earthbound solar storms that hit simultaneously, and that's what caused the aurora to actually come down into that lower part of our hemisphere. So that is really cool. That happened last night. So if you were able to see, I don't have the exact excuse me, I don't have the exact time that it happened, but or how long it lasted for. I could there's still like, I think there's still some reporting on it. I know one site said it, but I couldn't get back to it in time. But yeah, like what caused it? What was what's called a CME, which is a coronus mass ejection, not injection, ejection. A coronus mass ejection, which this is what pushes out these massive spindles of, energy and heat, and these ejections will push out a nice current of stellar mass that comes towards us, and that storm that comes in our direction, and we fly right into it. That's what kind of that's how we kind of experience some of these things. I mean, CMEs can do some. They just like a volcano. A volcano erupting could do nothing, and a volcano could erupt and just destroy a lot of stuff. But for the most part, our star is very docile. Not as violent as it appears. Like it appears violent because it's a star and it is a massive. Not like, if you like science, go and look this up. It's a massive reaction in space. But those ejections, when they come to us, escaping its gravitational pull of the star, and it pushes towards us in the cosmic void, and reaches us, it leaves that aurora borealis. It also is what can cause severe weather or unpredictable weather changes. So do look out for that. With this kind of thing that happened, we may have some weather changes that will be on the horizon, but nothing too extreme, hopefully. But it is one of the but what we see with the aurora borealis, the Earth's magnetic field, it supercharges and the atmosphere and creates those light shows. The sun is in an active cycle right now. We're in what's called the solar maximum. But again, like, I want to say that it's its solar maximum, but at the same time it's pretty tame compared to some stars out there that are. You ever looked up a quasar? That's violent. So, but yeah, we're in what's called the solar maximum, the most active period the sun has of the sun's 11-year cycle. So every 11 years we go through a solar minimum and then a solar maximum. It's what we get in massive changes in the seasons, and allows us to kind of like it surprisingly enough regulates our planet a lot. Like, it's very vital to our planet's health to have these min and maximum set times for our solar system. And it's really great because I've been following this since the early 2010s, when I first experienced the solar minimum, and as an adult and as like an observing adult. So these kind of things are super exciting. And there's like this, NOAA or NOAA. You can go to their website. You can actually explore these things. You can actually look up these things. And I would say some high-tech farms these days actually pay attention to not just the minimums and maximums, but then these ejecta. So these CMEs, as soon as they have a projection of the CME and our effect, some farmers actually will look at that and take measures ahead of time to wait for that to hit us and be able to make changes if need be, or have preparations for if need be. So but yeah, these Northern Lights events are going to keep happening from now until next year, and they're going to be putting on some really cool light shows. So this is the time frame to be enjoying looking up and looking at the stars and looking at what we're seeing into the future. But on another news, beyond the beauty of what's in our sky, we have Axiom Space just closed a $525 million funding round. That is amazing. Congratulations to Axiom Space, the company building the commercial replacement to the International Space Station. Just locked in that amount, and with Japan's largest bank, MUFG, as a new investor. The ISS is being retired, and that's slated to drop out in here soon, and less than 4 years from now, 3.5 years from now, in 2030. So that's gonna fall out of the sky, burn up, and do its all beautiful thing. And then it'll be retired. Axiom is one of the companies racing to build what comes next. I want you to think about what it means that Japan's biggest bank is now investing in an American commercial space station. That the space economy is becoming a global financial product. This isn't NASA anymore, or ESA anymore, or India Space Station, these government entities. It's almost looking like a Wall Street. And not gonna lie, I'm a little heartbroken that it's gone this direction, but it's progress. And as much as I don't like it, if it gets us to where we're going, okay. But I was really hoping that space isn't where we're going to bring economy. That becomes a place of purity. And, here's my hot take on capitalism. Capitalism is a real driver of conflict because of competition. We saw that on the pads. I truly believe the reason why that rocket blew up is because that company was cutting corners to be on the pad fast, to beat out SpaceX, to try to show that they can beat out SpaceX. That competition creates unsafe acts. Currently, we're seeing that inside the space industry, and I honestly don't agree with it 100%. Now, if you guys don't agree with me on that, you believe in, that this is going in the right direction, hey, I'm with you on your beliefs, and I enjoy that. I would love to hear about that here in the channel. Hey, there's Jaka. Sorry I didn't see you message before. Actually, you know what? I've been relying on that chat box to be like over there. Why don't I just have it over on this screen instead of like looking over? There we go. Now we're cooking with bacon. Oh, and I put it back over there. Now we're cooking with bacon grease. Yeah, so when I started the show earlier, Jaka, you would have laughed at me. I started the show, I forgot to switch. Oh, nice, good. I started the show and I accidentally started it on Twitch first, and then I was like, oh no. So like, if you ever do rewind this live and look at the very beginning, you get to see me in the dark, because I had just gotten to the office and started putting everything together. Funny stuff, man. It's like, yeah, good morning, and welcome, Jaka. We like having ya. Thank you so much. But yeah, welcome here. We just got done talking about the Northern Lights. Yeah, get to see the. Oh, no! You'll see me like look up and smile. I crack a smile because I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I should have like went to black there before I did everything. I should have faded to black. Whoops. Nothing like nothing like starting a stream and having a blooper in the very beginning. We like bloopers though. blooper reel. I always keep them in. Why not? It's fun. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm hoping you having a good morning. Do you have a cup of coffee yourself? I know I need to drink some more. I was up till like, I want to say I was up till 10 last night. And that's usually early for me, but I was super exhausted because I straight up have been exhausting getting exhausted trying to get this website moving. It's like it's been a bit of a headache trying to get this new version of the website up. Yeah, we're all welcome to Roughing It. And welcome to Roughing It today. We're all roughing it this Friday. It's been a long week. Oh my gosh. Like this week has been like super fast, but it's been a long week. At moments when you want it to speed up, it's not, and whenever it speeds up, you're like, no, I don't got enough time. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. Not that fast, please. Don't go and take the time too fast, please. But yeah, so yeah, getting in, starting to stream, going, oh, that's Twitch, and then going and switching it over. But yeah, so we had a little bit of a late start, but we got there in the end. But yeah, we were talking about the Northern Lights, and then we got to talking about Axiom, and then I kind of like was putting my little blurbage about commercialism going into space and it creating unsafe situations, because we had the pad blow up last weekend, and you know, yeah, how was that show? Oh, so you went to 2 shows 2 days in a row. Nice. Or a show 2 days in a row? Oh, okay, good. Okay. Caught the commercialism. But yeah, that's my hot take on it. Hopefully it'll prove me wrong, and that we'll have just people with good heads on their shoulders moving forward and going into the future of space travel. And not only that, like it. Okay. You just got home 20 minutes ago. Jacques is like, the show Wednesday was great. The show last night was also very good, and I expected to leave after, and just ended up getting home about 20 minutes ago. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, roughing it today. Definitely gonna need to get that cup of coffee and that Java. Let's make sure we raise our cups to Shaka. Good luck, buddy. Get that Java in you. Do you have the day off? Work is in 5 minutes. Well, hopefully we can help you get through the rest of your work day, or at least a good portion of the morning, so it makes that weekend get there a little bit more faster. That's why we're here, folks. We're here to be in your ear while you either start working or you're on your way to work. Here it is about to turn over to 7 a.m. on the Pacific Coast. I'm gonna get let's get through a couple of these topics, and Shaka, good luck pushing through this morning. Hopefully we give you the energy, the power. You got the power, we're giving it to you. But yeah, like I was talking about, commercial, getting into space commercially does offer a different perspective of going into space, and kind of modernizes it a bit. Because before it was about being an astronaut, it was about going into space and being the true blue, being the most elite that goes into space because you're capable of doing so. Now we have built in commercial ways, or commercial wise, I should say, the ability to get into space in a more comfortable means. There's constant development being made to be able to get from the ground into space in a short amount of time, that wouldn't be like strapping ourselves to a rocket and blasting off at so many extreme G's and putting our body through a bunch of things that way. I mean, there's hotels that want to be created in space. We know that we're the biggest problem on our own planet, and we're causing a lot of issues environmentally. Being as vast as we are, I think we're just still edging towards 8 billion. We haven't pushed over 8 billion yet, I don't think. But that's a lot of critters running around making infrastructure. So, the idea is always to go into space, build space stations to kind of like expand our capabilities, especially building in low Earth orbit where the effects of space aren't so extreme. And that's another reason why, like, people from SpaceX and people from, Boeing and Blue Origin, they're all trying to find ways to expand our abilities and capabilities into space on a rapid pace. So the capitalism does actually have like a purpose. It doesn't always have to rely on the government to get us into space. It doesn't have to rely on the governments to push us further in space and providing its own landmass, which causes its own issues. But we need to get into space. That's our next frontier. And commercial space activity is I think on the climb, especially that it's not just expansive here in the United States. It's in China, it's even in Europe, and especially like Axiom like Space has opened new offices in Switzerland, and their competitor Vast opened one in France. The race to place the ISS is going international, and for good reason. It is the International Space Station, of course. But American companies are planting flags in Europe to lock in global partnership ahead of the ISS's retirement. The International Space Station is literally about to be retired like an old car. Well, not like an old car, but more of like the first station that came down and got burnt up. We don't burn up cars right after it gets too old. Just put it out on the old 40, burn it. Nah, we don't do that kind of stuff. But that's what we're doing with this. We're gonna be having it burn up in the atmosphere. Right now, there are multiple private companies competing to build the replacement. We are in the most interesting era of space race and space exploration, and even stellar body landing is the next big race part. Like that's what everybody's like everyone wants to be the first to get on the moon. India, Europe, Americas, China, wanting to get to the moon and land as quickly as we can. So that's the big intense part. We've just ticked over. To 7 a.m. So here on the Pacific Coast, it will be a good solid 10 a.m. on the East Coast. So hopefully you guys are enjoying your morning. But yeah, so we're getting into this expansive means of going into space, and doing it commercially has kind of rapidly increased that. That's where technology rapidly increased. As soon as technology is handed into, business hands, or hands of businessmen and women, that's when technology booms. That's whenever everything gets expansive rapidly. It's like throwing Greek fire and trying to put it out with water. It's just gonna grow faster and faster. So it's all right, buddy. Have a good meeting. So yeah, it's a big deal. And then our good old Space Florida is funding an offshore rocket launch system. Space Florida just backed a company called Seagate Space. I think we've heard of Seagate Space before, not on the show, but I've definitely spoken about it within the community before. They are a company that's trying to create launching systems out in the ocean, in the Gulf. So they're investing in an offshore launch system while approving $24 million in aerospace projects. Offshore rocket launches would move launches away from populated coastline and open up entirely new launch windows. Extremely new ones. This really can... kind of imagine the launch system being like on an oil rig. It's a stable platform. I got a hair in my throat. Give me a second. That's weird. I can't get rid of it. Hope I'm not coming down with something. But anyways, these launch systems, if they were in not the ocean, but in the Gulf, these would help us be able to build a more frequent and more not more, but less congested launches on the coastline. And I don't think they would be launching large ships into space. I think the ships that would launch out there would be more industrial and a way for us to be able to get more infrastructure into space, especially during ISS's build. We want to be able to build that thing rapidly so we can get the most out of it for the longest period of time, and be able to launch systems into space more frequently and make getting things into space a little bit more easier. If we're able to do that with the ISS, the new ISS that comes out, and we're able to rapidly build it within 2 or 3 years, then that's huge. That will be a new milestone as far as us getting into space and space reliably. And I know that SpaceX would enjoy that a lot more, because getting launch windows and then being able to get their rockets up there and being able to launch on a frequent basis, they've gotten pretty comfortable, and the systems are pretty good as far as inspections and system reliance and all that kind of good stuff. So that's been pretty cool. So this will be awesome. So yeah, Space Florida, and in Seagate Space, those two companies partnering up and trying to get that launched and off the ground is pretty important. So I'm really glad that that's going on. So I came across this, and I'm not. I would like to kind of open this up to. I'll kind of wait on this actually. I was gonna get into AI powered space batteries, but it's a real thing. I'll touch on it, but we'll come back to it. A company called Solidian, I think is how you say it. Solidian Technology just announced 30 plus patents for space-based AI battery technology, including what they call the highest performing lithium anode protection ever patented. AI isn't just in your phone, it's going into the power systems of spacecraft. AI managing the power supply of a spacecraft. That's the level we're at now. Not just AI writing emails, AI keeping astronauts alive in orbit. And that's vital. And I kind of want to take a step back from it. We'll go ahead and get into it. We'll take a step back and kind of look it on the outside, and we got to explain something on AI, because a lot of people have a misunderstanding of AI at the present moment. AI, as it is an artificial intelligence, it isn't real intelligence or real-time intelligence. What it is a cause and effect intelligence, meaning that something has to trigger the AI to do something or think and to make an action. So this is where that comes into place with AI powered space batteries or AI powered generation systems, is that in real time, when we want to know a diagnosis of something of great importance, like let's use, and forgive me if this is offensive to anybody, I just want to use it in a great context. Imagine if we had this kind of system, which was kind of there in its infancy of computer systems analyzing anything. There was more switches and gauges that were on the screen. But let's use Apollo 13 for a second. It was a devastating event. It was one that stopped the hearts of many people around the world, hoping that those astronauts could get back safely, especially in a situation where they're going around the moon in a broken spaceship, and hopefully that all the preemptive math that was done prior won't lead them into smacking into the moon and being, the first ever humans to have graves. I mean, that was devastating. Graves on the moon. But, everybody had their perspective on it. Imagine if you had an AI system that was on board that was able to detect those through censoring and be able to have like an early warning system to things that can't be visibly seen by the human eye. We're talking about spacecrafts have these hull systems all over that can't be always visibly seen by a human, and if those had sensor nodes all over it, AI can be able to get an alert, get a solution, and have it to the astronaut or the person in engineering systems to be able to make rapid repair in an efficient and effective manner that is about survivability. And the same thing goes right now with AI-powered battery systems. These people can actually build a system that allows us to kind of have an on-board fast reaction to things that could be potentially catastrophic, or just power-saving options that allow for more extensive use of the battery systems based off of human behavior. Oh, you're not using these batteries there, astronaut. You might want to shut them down, or you might want to put it into a safe mode, or let's use these systems less frequently, just so to kind of give yourself more space. more use of the space. And so, like, the idea of using AI in space systems, especially like, rocketry, it's all about having that rapid response of information. And that's what AI currently is. It's a rapid response of information, as well as system management processes that we, the humans, build and it manages so that we can put our minds towards something else. A lot of people were like worried, oh man, AI is going to take away jobs. It's like, no, AI is going to make us more intelligent and make us more capable of doing like more advanced things, so that we become a more advanced species. So it just elevates us. It's not a scary thing. That's my take on it. If you don't agree with me, don't hesitate to jump into the chat. Say, no, EXO, I don't believe you. AI is going to build an army and take over the world. Skynet. Although there is some conversation on Capitol Hill with Congress, still grilling NASA about commercial space station strategy. So it's not just me who has reserves about this. Especially, here's a perspective. If commercial industry is advancing technologies faster than our government entities, then why do we have those government entities in the first place? And that's actually a bad thing, because we want to have our government in better control of the technology than our commercial end. Lawmakers are pressing NASA hard about its timeline and strategy for transitioning from the ISS to commercial stations. There are real concerns about whether private companies can deliver on time. NASA's answer have not been satisfying to Capitol Hill, and has been requesting that they get their stuff together and make sure that they are on point with this. I do know that there is I do know that there are a lot of regulations that are out there for commercial technologies that kind of regulates this, but it shouldn't always have to come down to NASA. Although NASA is the world's leading, aerospace. What would you call that? A conglomerate? NASA's entire future depends on private companies stepping up. Axiom just raised $525 million that we talked about. But money and actual building a space station that works are two different things. Having an expectation and then meeting expectation is two different things. Let's move away from the business end of it and get into Japan's next big move with H3 rocket, and it's launching a French satellite this month. So keep your eyes out for that. It's supposed to be coming out in June, and a French space company, Unseen Labs, is launching its surveillance satellite aboard a Japanese H3 rocket here in June. An RF maritime surveillance mission watching ship traffic from orbit is set to be their next big objective. International space collaboration is happening at a level we've never seen before, which is amazing. We want to see that. A French satellite launching on a Japanese rocket to watch ship traffic from space for over 1,000 different companies, tens of thousands of different companies using tens of thousands of different shipping lanes. This is amazing. 20 years ago, that sentence would have been science fiction. Now, it's just Thursday. Well, Friday for us. The global AI race is centered in Taiwan right now, with Computex 2026 is showcasing Taiwan's dominance in the global AI supply chain. The chips powering every AI system on Earth, from ChatGPT to spacecraft to your phone, are overwhelmingly made in Taiwan. This one island. Okay, I'm gonna stop reading from my script. This one island is most strategically important piece of real estate in tech world. Okay, Taiwan has always been that one industrial spot that was able to be significantly positioned in just about every simple way. And not to mention the Taiwanese people being amazing at building these products. Kudos to them. Hope it's not always in a sweatshop, but I think not. Like, Taiwan is kind of really boomed as far as being a having technological prowess in manufacturing. That, they've made leaps and bounds and have been able to help us propel ourselves into the future. And that's kind of amazing. I'm not exaggerating about this stuff. This is literally an era of technology that, look at our pace in technology before the invention of the airplane. Technology was very slow going. Even whenever we came out with a Ford Model T, technology and industry was still pretty slow moving up to about the moment that we made aeroflight and learned more from being in flight than we did being on the ground. And then with more being in flight, going into space, and space going into space travel. Like, all of this stuff has evolved us because as a human species, man, isn't that amazing? The more we expose ourselves to the, universe around us, the more adapted we become to it. We are probably one of the most adaptive species on our planet, and that is amazing stuff. And look at just Taiwan. Taiwan being a strategically positioned island that has a lot of technical trade and had built manufacturings for technology to make themselves a reliable source. And that is important. That's a way to make yourself important, Taiwan. Appreciate everything you guys do over there. Keep it up. We did talk about on Monday the fact that we have come across a crystal that is metal and glass. I have to talk about this. Scientists actually did it. Metal glass. Or transparent metal. That's the best way that I could put it. But it's glass. But it's metal. It's a metal glass. Still circulating from Monday, researchers created I put it here. I'm going to read it. Molybdenum. I did this the other day. I have to do it again. I have to copy it. I have to put it into Google. Please, Google, tell me, how do you pronounce it?
Molybdenum.
Molybdenum. Yeah. Hey, scientists, how about you write it out so we can read it right, like the way it is? Molybdenum. Molybdenum.
Molybdenum.
Molybdenum. Yes, you heard it. I said it once the right way. molybdenum. That's only part of it, though. That's only part of it. Molybdenum oxychloride, a crystal that behaves like metal and glass simultaneously. Now, I would get into like the full explanation of that, but let's keep it a little bit light here. If you want to know about that, definitely look it up. It's worth a Google. It is a step in the right direction when it comes to building like deep spacecraft, like ships that can hold a lot of people and view the outside. That is important. We don't want to create, how we have submarines. We want that not like that in space. There's too much beautiful things in the great void to not be seen visually. So this is a step in the right direction, having the ability to have a metal glass. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's the direction we're going with this. But, early applications could include next-gen electronics and futuristic displays technology. We are genuinely inventing materials that didn't exist before, said the scientists. Metal and glass in the same crystal. Jules Verne couldn't have written this themselves. It really is like that these days. I am super excited to be living in a time where I am blessed. I thank my existence, my parents for my existence, because I am living in an era where I was without technology and literally building communities that harness technology and use technology in their every day. That's Cyberaddicts. That's where Cyberaddicts comes from. That's what we're doing in Cyberaddicts, is bringing, a community together that wants to have, the technology and have AI and have internet at their fingertips, enjoy smartphones and want that to be expansive, going into space and letting that be expansive, and then enjoying, interactions on the cyber world. That's what we're about. And it's really cool that we're in this era and we're enjoying this. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the show so far. We're almost halfway through it. I know. We're almost halfway through our show, but I'm enjoying it. We're going to go ahead and move away from the science and space for a little bit. We'll come back to some of it later when we kind of wrap up everything. But let's talk about, movies and TV. I know I just, for everybody that just tuned in, and don't hesitate to like and subscribe, all the shameless plug stuff. And don't hesitate to say something in the chat. Speaking of which, I've had the chat accidentally... how do I get that back? Need to move that over. I had accidentally clicked on my screen and got rid of the chat whenever I had to get the word. But don't hesitate to say something in the chat. I know that we're all super busy. That's why we have the news that I get to tell to you guys, and topics that we can kind of talk a little bit through if you guys are ever interested. But Scary Movie is back. I didn't watch it, but it opened up yesterday. And it was a Thursday night preview of Scary Movie, and it opened last night, and $7.5 million, which was near Scream 7 levels, which was the last Scream that was created. And it's looking like about 45 million on opening weekend when it does open up. This R-rated comedy revival is real, and Scary Movie is leading the charge. The franchise has been dormant for over a decade, but they're coming and bringing it back with the same feels that they had back then. So, my biggest question to you guys is, why? Like, why Scary Movie coming back? I feel like the humor of Scary Movie is the way Scary Movie had come out, the many different Scary Movies that did come out, because this is number 6. It has always been about modern movies that are out that they do spoofs of. It's almost like a hour and a half to 2 hour Saturday Night Live. That's what it kind of like feels like to me, is just like skit after skit after skit after skit that's being played through it. And they what they do is they frame it around like the Scary Movie, or not Scary Movie, the slasher film Scream, and they put it around like whatever big is around that time. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how the movie unfolds. I've seen highlights here and there, and I know I'm kind of talking lackluster about it, but I do think, it's about time that some of the horror movies that we currently have out there, or thrillers that we have out there, getting a Weird Al Yankovic kind of, or a Saturday Night Live skit show made for it. So it may be just coming out on the right thing, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if it really does lead the pack in comedy for 2026. So when it does actually release, if you want to go see it and we can talk about it, that would be amazing. Masters of the Universe opened and it's already in trouble. He-Man's big movie debuted, opened Thursday, last night, to just 4 million in previews. That's not good. Analysts are already calling it worse than recent box office bombs. This is the franchise that raised an entire generation on Saturday morning cartoons. Somehow, they may have missed the landing. Masters of the Universe had literally all the nostalgia in the world working in its favor. Every kid from the 80s has, by the power of Grayskull, burned into their brain. And somehow, may have fumbled it. And it's true. I seen some of the trailers and I kind of had a feeling it may have been missing its mark. And let's be serious about coming into movies these days. People want originals. People want originals. I think letting some things breathe was really good back in the day. Because there's been revivals of IPs all the time. There's been revivals of music IP. There's been revivals of movies. There's been revivals all throughout our history. It's not nuance that the industry gets kind of in a slump and they need more time, and they fill these times with what's called what's called a minor movie, where it's not meant to be a tent pole, but it's just meant to break even, to kind of keep people interested and entertained. And nostalgia movies are kind of like that way to do that. Sometimes it is a tent pole, meaning in business, a tent pole being what holds up the rest of the foundation of the company and its equity of the year. And we have like major new movies that come out and we're like, ooh, that's amazing. And if you look at who's saying it or who's doing it, it's each individual studio continuously putting up tent poles throughout their year to meet, that growth that they need. So with that in mind, Masters of the Universe, the way it was marketed, almost looked like it was supposed to be a tent pole. Like it was supposed to be a new franchise opener, a new, amazing thing to experience. But people are starting to say that it is falling flat on its face. It's amazing to see this stuff. Like, why make something from nostalgia and just be so lackluster about it and feel like you're making something unique and then falling flat on your face with it? Another thing that has come by that we were talking about that has been like super in people's faces is the Odyssey. Finding out later where there was not a lot of publicity over it that was hitting the waves, but then massively hit everybody's attention whenever it blew up on social media, about Ellen Page being potentially Achilles. Elliot Page being Achilles. That's what really lit the wildfire for everybody to pay attention to that and going, okay, that movie poster was what attracted me. And you're going to tell me that when the person turns around that it looks goofy, unfitted, the person inside of it is much smaller, that these giants have literally Batman style armor, almost looking comical. I feel bad for the actors that have to see this later and go, they see it and they go, well, we gave a great performance, people. We gave a great performance. That's what we can be appreciative of. We can be appreciative that we gave a great performance. I'll get my raspberry. That's fine for being worst actor in this show. We'll look at Rotten Tomatoes. We'll feed into those markets just right. We'll get people paid. That's the point, right? Instead of making something of quality. Now with my company, obviously, shameless plug out there, that's the idea of me building my company and building an IP, is creating entertainment of quality for the sake of entertainment, not just trying to make quota, not trying to just appease our investors to an extreme amount. I want people to invest in us because of what quality we'll provide in the end. So, is that what we see with Masters of the Universe? Is that what we're going to be seeing? Or maybe they got a bad crowd. Maybe so far in the preview, that in opening, that it's going to be different. We'll see. It's going to be a long weekend this weekend. We'll have to look at everything coming to us on Monday. So make sure you do come back to us on Monday for You, Me, and Mr. Coffee. We'll be getting into what happened during the weekend with all these performances being watched tonight and on to Sunday. So people have been talking also about She-Ra being that Masters of the Universe's post-credit scene. Spoiler. Even if the film underperforms, the post-credits scene officially confirms She-Ra is coming to the franchise. The actress shared behind-the-scenes costume photos. So regardless of how the weekend goes, the universe is expanding, with She-Ra showing up in the post-credits of this movie's I think was probably the best move. It tells the hardcore fans, stay with us. But wait, there's more. Which is a classic Marvel's, playbook. We got a couple of movies that are going to be dropping soon, but one to be on the lookout is Supergirl, that drops on June 26th. Final trailer just dropped. The final trailer just dropped with call to action to June 26th. DC dropped the third and final trailer for Supergirl, starring Millie Alcock. I almost misread that. The young actress who played young Rhaenyra in the House of Dragons. It opens June 26th. Tracking has it at 55 million plus domestic opening, which is really good. DC is betting big on her. Millie Alcock. I'm sorry, I butchered your name. Millie Alcock went from House of Dragons to carrying an entire DC universe on her back. She's 24 years old. If Supergirl works, she becomes one of the biggest stars in the world overnight. So she goes from being and carrying on her role in House of Dragons to being what could potentially build DC Universe back up and having a new star to, follow. So that would be kind of cool. So awkward, or possibly something that you're happy about, but for me it's kind of awkward. So the Bear final season has kind of had its interesting spin on things, with Taylor Swift that wrote a song for it. So Swiftie fans out there, Taylor Swift wrote an original song for the Bear season 5 finale. It drops with the final episode. A country inflicted Taylor Swift track soundtracking. I totally botched that. Sorry. So she's soundtracking the end of one of the greatest TV dramas of the decade. The Bear ending with a Taylor Swift original song is the most emotionally devastating thing I've ever heard all week. That show already makes people cry. Now add Taylor Swift, nobody's making it out intact. So it's gonna be great. Let's all check out The Bear together, and let's see how we feel and come back to it. And we'll talk about it in the future. So that's, for all you Swiftie fans. But it is, it's sad. The Bear is coming to its closing, and 5 seasons. Congratulations to the Bear crew and actors and actresses and producers. Good job. Good job. Very good job. Pat yourselves on the back, because you guys did a great job with the Bear. It's part of culture now. So we also talked on Monday about a very amazing young director that has been making huge waves with Backrooms, and it's still holding strong. Now in its second week, Backrooms is holding strong against Scary Movie and Masters of the Universe. A24's $10 million YouTube origin horror film is already a landmark moment in cinema history. and it's not done yet. Backrooms at $82 million opening, holding into week 2 against a major studio release. Kane Parsons, 20 years old, and just proved something that Hollywood will be talking about for years. Welcome, Gen Z, to the industry. And welcome to Gen Alpha being big potential prospects at a much more younger pace. Maybe. Or is this a fluke? Is it that just we had a glimpse of somebody who's just a prodigy and knows what he's doing? Put down in the comments down below what you guys feel about this new 20-year-old making such a cultural effect with the backrooms. I will admit, I've never been a fan of the backrooms, but it's not that it's bad. It's just that I've never been a big fan of that. I also believe that it got saturated, that people took the backrooms and then made their own little backrooms things, and it got really saturated in the media, which is sad. But this movie is, somebody's work of art that they started, and they've been seeing it all the way through, and that drive, that distinction of being unique and original and remaining original and carrying your IP on. That's what I'm talking about. All right, good to go. All right, yeah, don't get in trouble by the boss now. Kane Parsons at 20 years old. Congratulations on such a success with the backrooms. House of Dragons Season 3 trailer, June 22nd, is coming fast. The full trailer dropped this week, and it went everywhere. Dragons fighting each other in the sky, brutal battles, James Norton joining the cast, and we're only 3 weeks away, and the hype is real. Season 2 got some criticism for being slow, but Season 3 trailer looks like they heard every single complaint and responded by putting 7 dragons on screen. Message received. Product delivered. Let's hope so. With the season dropping on the 22nd, make sure that you keep an eye out. That'll be your summer binge, or hopefully you get a small creep out of it. Hopefully it's small creep. Don't be like Spider Noir. Don't put it all out at once and me beg for more. We also talked about Larry David earlier this week. We talked about Larry David's news show that's coming out this month. No major title announcement has come out yet from it, so I don't know what it's supposed to be called, but a new comedy series is supposed to be dropping here in June. After Curb Your Enthusiasm ending, he clearly had to say more. Larry David plus HBO, automatic event television combination. Larry David at 78 years old getting another HBO show is the most reassuring thing in entertainment. Some people just never run out of things to complain about brilliantly. So good on you, Larry David. Wish you good luck on your success, and keep bringing us laughs. So this weekend, though, and you guys know me, I like following. I know a lot about awards in the industry, and I really studied a lot about how the awards are done, and just to keep you guys on the pulse and the breaking news of things. The Tony Awards are on Sunday, so make sure that you mark it, set on June 7th. Broadway's biggest night. It's been called one of the most competitive seasons in years. If you've been watching any of the Celebrity Stacked Broadway shows, this season, Sunday is going to be the payoff. The Tonys is the only award show where the performances are live, unrehearsed, and genuinely dangerous. Something can always go wrong. That's the electricity of live theater. And, you know, one of the purest forms of live theater today being Broadway, Palace Theater, and more. So it's kind of great to see some of these amazing actors and actresses and supporting actresses and actors that get an opportunity to be acknowledged for their great feats. Going back to you Swiftie fans. Oh, I did it again. I did it again. I didn't mean to. Pull chat off the screen. But going back to Swiftie fans, Swiftie didn't just, you know, build a song set for The Bear. Taylor Swift returns to country just for Toy Story 5. Today's biggest music moment is that Taylor Swift dropped I Knew It, I Knew You for the Toy Story 5 soundtrack at midnight. It's a full return to her country roots, dropping on the 20th anniversary of her original hit, Tim McGraw. Critics are already calling it an Oscar contender. Taylor Swift writing a country song for a Pixar movie about toys on the 20th anniversary of her first country hit. The symmetry of that is almost too perfect. She planned this. And not just her, I'd like to also, like, I know a lot of people just keep pointing out that Taylor Swift, oh man, she's amazing. She's got great. I really want to give it up to her team. Like, she has probably one of the best marketing teams in the world that promote her in such a way that is amazing. And her story is amazing too. Don't get me wrong. I don't doubt her story. I'm not a big Swiftie. I'm not a Swiftie at all, but because I do remember our song back in the day being a bit overplayed and misplaced because of her age, but you know, commercialism. But you know, I give it up to her team. They do a great job keeping her on track, bringing her amazing suggestions to keep her relevant inside of pop culture, and she's a great performer. And she does great on, you know, delivering what her and her team are able to build together. So, you know, kudos for that. And the fact that it's in Toy Story 5 embeds her in history for the rest of her life, that's for sure. Oh. We went through a lot today. We've talked about a lot of space stuff. We've talked about a lot of movies, TV, really big things happening in the industry. We're talking about the awards. These 2 hours kind of gone by pretty fast. I hope that I haven't gone too fast through the content. And we're only 10 minutes away from it being 8 o'clock here, 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Man, what a day. What a morning. I hope y'all are doing good. I'm going to go ahead and do a real quick shameless plug on stuff before I go and take a real quick break to kind of organize myself for the rest of the show. We'll have a small intermission for everybody to be able to get back to for everybody to be able to get their chance to get up, stretch, go use the restroom, go grab yourself another cup of coffee, go ahead and refill your cup of joe, so we can be able to get through another portion of this morning together. But shameless plug as it will be, I cannot stress enough how much I really need your guys' help this week and this weekend. Really about this weekend. And if anybody could please bring more people to our community, that would be amazing. Tell people about us. Bring them here to you, me, and Mr. Coffee. Have this show together. Let's enjoy. The show is about community and bringing people here. I know I keep talking about different topics throughout the day, but any moment we could stop in any one of these topics and we can burn the rest of the day just talking about one single thing if we wanted to. And really just going through these topics is just kind of bring something and pique your interest, and also for a lot of people, having something in your ear to get through the moments of this morning. So bring people here and bring people to our community. It's important, and I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Give me a second. I usually have the site up, but I think I clicked X on it. Whoops. Yeah, but how do I get to... I guess I'm. That's interesting. Well, I just found something new about this process that I didn't realize. I'm gonna need to fix that. If anybody knows how to, build websites and stuff and would like just to help, I would appreciate it. That would be fantastic. Because I know what I'm doing, but at the same time, I'm taking on a big task and I'm biting it pretty hard. Trying to remember where. I know where. Sorry for the delay or the pause. This would probably be a good time for everybody to like go ahead and grab your break, and then I'll plug afterwards. So I'll be back. I'm gonna get a couple of things taken care of and get a new cup of coffee. Maybe. I still have plenty left. I might just do that. But let me go ahead and take a real quick intermission, and I'll see you guys back here in a few minutes. All right, everybody, I'm back. Woo! That was quick. I pinned in the chat our website. Make sure that you do go there. It will be updated soon. I keep saying it's going to be updated. It's going to be updated. I really, like I said, I really need some help on this. It's slow going, and I'm annoyed by it just as much as you guys are. We're here on the 5th day of June. We haven't even gotten our Kickstarter out. We haven't been able to reach our goal, and now I'm having to like really work hard on trying to get this site out. And the biggest thing is I put my foot in it big time with trying to have some interactive animation on the website and trying to like make it very pretty, especially for investors and capabilities and understanding like, hey, the guy that you're like investing into to build this studio actually has pretty genius ideas and enjoys creating. So it's about like projecting towards investors. So if you could go to the support section. I know that it says that the Kickstarter is supposed to have started. I know that it already says that the investment time frame for the seed fundraiser is over, but it's not. Just bear with me on that. I'm trying to get the site up as quickly as I can, but you could go to the support section and kind of help us out. Really, would be amazing. If you can't do it financially, just spread the word. Tell people, hey, there's this guy. He's trying to build a studio and really build great entertainment. You might like him. Go and check out some of his videos so far on YouTube, and check him out on Twitch, and potentially Kick if we can get that going in that direction as well. And buy into our product a bit. But it is 6 minutes past the hour from 8 a.m. here and 11 over on the East Coast, and everybody's time in between. And we're getting into it. We're getting into the last hour. In this last hour, we like to talk about sports and music and a way to kind of like send us off. But we have some also other exciting content that will be coming to us in this. So let's go ahead and get some stuff out of the way before we get too far. Let's get the music out of the way. Today is one of the biggest album releases of 2026. Saving Country Music called today a massive release day for both the volume and the gravity of releases being significant, end quote. All dropping today: Death Cab for Cutie, Modest Mouse, Vince Staples, Dear Tick, and more. This is a new Music Friday for the ages. Death Cab for Cutie and Modest Mouse dropping albums on the same day in 2026. Feels like 2005. Called and said, "You're welcome." The indie kids are eating well today. So go ahead and enjoy all that kind of music that's coming out, starting with Death Cab for Cutie. I Built You a Tower. Death Cab's new album, I Built You a Tower, dropped today on Anti Records. Critics are already glowing. If you grew up with plans or transatlanticism, this one's for you. Death Cab for Cutie is one of those bands that defined an entire emotional era for a generation. New album in 2026 feels like reconnecting with an old friend. So do check out Death Cab for Cutie. I Built You a Tower. That's going to be great. Modest Mouse coming out with their new album today. They dropped Float On. The people that brought us Float On and Dashboard is back. And, them just being able to drop something on the same day with Death Cab is just kind of helping to build that like new playlist in our head. I honestly feel like that becoming relevant for all of us millennials and Gen X and Gen Z, exploring these individuals a little bit more deeper than what they got in the early years of music, and hopefully our Gen Alpha will kind of enjoy these albums as well. Modest Mouse with their new album and coming out with... Why am I getting a VA pre-screening? That's weird. But, you know, check those out. Definitely great. Vincent Staples, Cry Baby, his most ambitious album yet. Getting into it with Vince Staples dropping Cry Baby today. His first independent release off Def Jam, with live instrumentals, politically charged, and critics are calling it his best work. NME called it authentic punk outpouring. Consequence called it an American revolution. Vince Staples is going independent and delivering what critics are already calling his masterpiece. That's the independent era dream. No label control, full creative freedom, and then you go and make the best record of your career. Vince Staples, go ahead and his Crybaby album has dropped already. It's out there. Madonna also has new music out today. Madonna dropped a new music Friday, and this, today. I think it's today. Was it today or last Friday? I think it was today. Alongside Niall Horan, Sam Tompkins, and more. The UK official charts called it one of the biggest new music Fridays of the year. Madonna is 67 years old and still dropping music on New Music Friday. She has been refusing to leave the conversation since 1983. But that's honest, iconic behavior, That was a real quick rapid fire round of music, but it's a lot to ingest. I don't want to take too much away from you. You experience it, and let's talk about it on Monday. In Monday's show, let's see what you guys think of the new albums that have released today. The biggest thing that everybody's talking about, though, in sports is the Knicks took game one. Heck yeah. They have not been able to win a title since 1973, and the Knicks beat the Spurs. If the Knicks go up 2-0 on the Spurs, you're going to be able to hear Madison Square Garden from space. The crowd, New York was on a high. Literally, just absolute chaos in celebration over the winning of the Knicks. It has been, losing their minds over it. That's insane. Way to go, Knicks. Way to really do it. But guess what? Game 2 is tonight. So make sure you do watch Game 2. It's going to be electrifying. But we also know that where we get momentum, we can drop off pretty fast. So it's been my experience that whoever starts off really hard in the paint may not get that same result whenever they actually come through with it. So Knicks holding strong, guys. I'm rooting for you. I'm sorry, San Antonio. I'm really hoping they get a title this year. I really hope that they walk away with the win. And if you guys are San Antonio Spurs fans, or you're trying to root for the Spurs against the Knicks, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's my take. So let's see how it ends up. Let's all see how this ends up. Let's get a friendly friendly little, no wagers or anything, but friendly little competition here. Who are you hoping to win, Spurs or Knicks? Are you team Knicks or are you team Spurs? Let's see who in our community wins out of that one. You all know that I like Major League Baseball as well. We've been talking about MLB for a couple of weeks now, but the MLB is heating up. June baseball is here, and so in full summer swing. The College World Series bracket is underway. College baseball is genuinely most watched in June, so and I am one of them. I like to catch the highlights. I don't get to watch the full games these days, but I do like to catch the highlights of each round. So there's a couple of YouTube channels out there, including the major sports channels that have some pretty good play-by-plays that are throw by throw really of each one of the matchups. So I highly suggest you to go out there. That's a really good way to be able to watch the game and get a real quick ingestion of it. They also they don't always do this, but they do sometimes whenever there's something interesting going on in the dugout or somebody's warming up. They try to include those in those shorts. But yeah, it's a good way to be able to watch full game and see how things turned out over time. So definitely, if you're trying to get it in quick and try to fill it up in your day and enjoy the game, that's a good way to do it. But I don't want you guys to think that's the only way to do it. You can watch it on all sorts of channels. I suggest you to find the one that is best. I do CBS through Paramount Plus to try to get some sports, but that's some sports. But there's a lot of different streaming channels out there that you can be able to watch your favorite baseball teams and seeing how they go. Let's see how the weekend goes with the matchups and this week coming up. And we'll see who's going to be pushed through the brackets and going to be in the World Series, especially the College World Series. Oh, reminder, CMA Music Festival is running this weekend. It's starting today, or it started yesterday, and it's going all the way to the 7th. So that's amazing. It's happening in Nashville. Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, Lainey Wilson, Cody Johnson, Shabuzi, Carly Pierce, and a dozen more performing across multiple stages throughout the city. So make sure that you get down to Nashville and watch these people for free. You get to go around these stages. You don't have to pay. Free stages all day and listening to some great country music. Nashville is literally a city-wide concert right now, and playing music. Make sure you get down there. If you don't even like country music and you want to experience it, that's the best way to experience it. Go to Nashville, meet people, enjoy it, soak it in, and listen to some great music on free stages. But yeah, CMA Fest is one of those events where even if you're not a diehard country fan, you go and leave converted. So the energy of downtown Nashville during the weekend is unlike anything else in American music, and I honestly think you'll have an amazing time in Nashville. So if you're thinking about, I need to get away, I need to do a vacation, I got a little bit of money saved up, I could go and take a little cheap flight someplace, go to Nashville, be part of the crowd. They are having a great time. Music's already pumping, and people are already having a great time. Please drink responsibly and make sure that when you're there, you're not alone. Bring friends, have a great time, and enjoy the country fever. I know I'm kind of like looking through some of my notes here for other things to talk about, especially like events. I want to kind of throw out some events there, just more than just the CMA. There's like a few things that I had the AI pull up, and Claire's a really great AI for me, and been doing pretty amazing in trying to build some of the content for the show, especially whenever we get towards the end and we have nearly a half an hour left and I burned through a ton of content. But so that's what I'm kind of looking through, is some of the things that it's suggested to talk about. And I'm not familiar with these. This is why I don't really like asking the AI during the show. I like to be able to know what I'm talking about. I know I stumble through some of the content, but it's a lot of information, and I'm refreshing my mind on a lot of information as I go through it. It's definitely meeting like what's currently marketable out there, and it's talking about things that I don't feel comfortable talking about because I don't know anything about it. Like, I don't know anything about the Railbird Festival in Lexington, Kentucky. And that's this weekend. Railbird Festival is June 6th to the 7th in Lexington, Kentucky. A great mid-sized music festival at a horse racing venue. If you're in the Midwest and looking for something this weekend, this is one worth the drive. Lexington, Kentucky, hosting a music festival at a horse racing. You see what I'm saying? The copy is kind of repeating itself because there's not a lot of information on it, but it is something. It is something that is pretty cool. Having a music festival during a horse race, I've never heard of that before, but that's pretty cool. So if you're in Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky, go and check out the horse racing, because they got a music festival going on there. Any car shows? Let's ask Claire, are there any car shows? Are there any car shows to be looking out for? Like big car shows to be looking out for this summer? And where are they? See if our pal can kind of close that out for us. I'm a big car fan. I know a lot of people. I don't have a car because I live in the metro. But that hasn't stopped me from actually enjoying cars. I love the automotive industry. I actually worked for Honda at one point in time, putting in bonnet insulators, open seals, doing master cylinder checks, and putting in wiper motors. I was on the assembly line, so that was a really fun experience. It was short-lived. I had an experience there, and not like people were negative towards me or anything like that, but there was an experience that happened there that kind of got me to going, I don't like repetitive work. I really don't. I like work being new all the time. I don't really want stuff to be stagnant and repetitive. And so doing 500 cars a night, that just burnt me out pretty quickly, and the experience that I had burnt me out pretty quickly. So I got out of the car industry, but I love cars. I love having the cars. I had a Mustang at one point in time, and a Ford Edge as well. So those were really great cars. Especially the Ford Edge was a really great performing, SUV, which got us everywhere in California, and as well as we were able to take a trip to Sedona, Arizona, and down Route 66. So whoever has that car now, you got one that is going the distance for sure. That has gone the distance. So this is what Claire was able to give us just now. Monterey Car Week is one of the summer's events, but that's all the way out in August, from 13th to the 17th. So keep your eyes out here in California, Monterey, California, which is the crown jewel of the car show world at Pebble Beach. Concourse de Elegance is celebrating its 75th anniversary this year. That's awesome. Which gives it extra historical weight. RM Sotheby's auction runs August 13th through the 15th. If you're into rare, exotic, and historical significant cars, this is the Super Bowl of that. Spiker is even making a comeback appearance this year. Ooh, nice. Pebble Beach at 75 years is a once-in-a-generation moment for car culture. Some of the rarest vehicles on Earth are going to be showing up. I might need to put that on the calendar. Might be able to see each other there if you guys come out to it. I would love to see it. Monterey is not that far for me. I can get it there. I can get there pretty easily. It's just about getting back is going to be a little bit of a issue, especially if I indulge in alcohol, but we'll see how things go. I might just maybe get a hotel room while I'm there. We'll see. So there's a lot of things that are happening in August for car shows. I'm not seeing anything. Here's something in June. MSRA back to the 50s weekend. St. Paul, Minnesota, and for June, over 10,000 people have registered their vehicles in the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. Hot rods, customs, and classics, live 50s music, a flyover, and massive swap meet. One of the most beloved events in the Midwest car scene. But it's supposed to be here in June. I'd go look that up and see if you're in the Minnesota area where you can be able to enjoy that. MSRA is having their back to the 50s weekend. But yeah, it looks like car shows are going to be more August, September, and October with Cruising the Coast. It's going to be in the Mississippi Gulf Coast, happening in October. And that's their 7th straight year being number one car show in America. They had over 9,000 vehicles last time. Nice. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I guess all the car shows are going to be more towards the August area. If you know of a car show, put it in the comments down below. Let people know about it. But yeah. A lot of parades going on during this month, so go out there and show support for all of the parades that you guys are experiencing in your states and major cities. Also, Philadelphia is having a year for themselves with celebrating our 250th birthday of our nation. This weekend in Philly, there's a huge festival that's going to be going on. The Baltimore Avenue Dollar Stroll and the Philadelphia Chinese Lantern Festival all happening simultaneously, as well as the Pride March. Philadelphia is where America was born. In 2026, the 250th anniversary year, the whole city is basically one long birthday party for the entire year. So yeah, they are putting out events throughout the entire month, and that's exciting. So if anywhere is to be celebrating the 250th, make sure that you put Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on your list of places to go see. Governor's Ball is happening right now in New York City this weekend between tonight and up to the 7th. Live at Flushing Meadows Corona Park in Queens. Headliners are Lordi, A$AP Rocky, and Stray Kids. Also on the bill is Baby Kim, Kali Uchis, and Genie from Blackpink. Major Lazer, Pierce the Veil, and a bit more. It's one of the biggest music festivals in America, and it's going on this very weekend at Governor's Ball. And Lordi is leading it, is headlining it. She's been one of the most anticipated comebacks in music history. And if you're in New York City right now and you don't have a ticket, you're missing something special. So go get your ticket and go to the event. But yeah, it's about to be the weekend, and we have a lot of things that are happening. You've gotten a taste, a bit of things that you could go and check out this weekend. Make sure you look up your local listings of events and what's being planned and what's being organized, and be part of your community. Go out there. Don't be a hermit. Don't fall also into this trend of, oh, I'm an introvert, I have a small battery. No, build your battery up. Don't hermitize yourself. Go out and meet people. I know it's an extrovert telling an introvert to go meet people, but don't isolate yourself. That's the biggest thing that I think is plaguing the introvert communities out there, or introvert people out there, is they hermitize themselves, and then isolation sinks in. And much of it being very comfortable for that individual, it's not healthy. And I do stress mental health is important. So go out there, increase your social battery size, and go and enjoy time with friends. Meet people, meet new people, make new friends that are about the things that you love, that you like to nerd out about. Head out there and do that. I know a lot of other things that are coming up during the summer. There's a whole bunch of conventions that are going to be throughout the entire summer and leading all the way to November. It's going to be jam-packed, and we're going to be talking more about that on Monday. On Monday's Yumi and Mr. Coffee. So definitely come back for that. We're going to be talking about the biggest conventions of this year, and maybe conventions that I hope, if we can get there, if we can get the funding, that we'll be able to have something to present to you guys from our studio out there at one of these conventions, and we get to meet people, and we get to be a part of the community in a more physicalized manner than just being on the intro web. I'd like to know what you guys are doing this weekend, so don't hesitate to put it in the chat if you're here. But if you're not here and you're watching this later, do put it in the comments down below. I'll be enjoying to read it. I will probably bring it up as conversational pieces coming Monday in our Monday show. This is turning out to be an amazing week, and going into the weekend, I do hope that you guys have had a great week. That even though it was pretty jam-packed for me and just constantly filled with troubleshooting for the website. I'm going to enjoy this weekend. We also have another show that's going to be coming tomorrow that is going to be on Twitch. So basically, remember to open your eyes and look for me on Twitch. And go over there. It's at the X_O. You can find me on there at our normal time. But stay on the pulse, stay on the beat. I might be early tomorrow, somewhere around New Pacific, probably 3, as early as 3 in the afternoon on the East Coast. So keep your eyes out on that. I might be a little bit early, depending on if I can get a few people together and doing something. We are going to be doing Star Citizen and checking out the newest update that just came out not too long ago. So we'll be having some fun with that. But we also will be ending the show kind of plugging away a little bit on a couple of other games to kind of cool off from a long awaited Star Citizen experience that you guys have been waiting for, at least for me to come back to. So it's going to be great. I've been having to kind of like get into some of the MMOs that I have been playing and kind of shut down my operations there. I'll be going to do a lot of that. So if you guys are looking, if you guys are watching this and you're in those communities with me, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of Dune Awakening. It was a good fad for a year, but that I don't want to talk crap about a company, but Funcom definitely blew it with that franchise, and I'm really excited to see Dune Part 3. And I think that will be my conclusion of, ingesting Dune content. And which, by the way, when Dune comes out, Dune Part 3 comes out on streaming, I am going to host an event here in California. It'll be a watch party. So people that aren't there, but there will be an actual party. Hopefully I can put it together. And I'm in a place where I can be able to put it together. But I want to put together a huge watch party where we all sit around. There's a place here in California that you can rent out a private theater. And that private theater has kind of like tables and such like that. And there's a good place to kind of walk around and kind of enjoy talking to different people. And it's like huge couches and stuff like that. It's a really great event. I looked at it just the other day and I was like, man, wouldn't that be awesome if we could be able to watch all 3 Dunes back to back, that's 6 hours of movie watching with friends and family, which it'll be about a 10-hour event. With plenty of times to take breaks and enjoy in between each episode or each movie, or we might do it in a series of a couple of nights in a row where there's a lead up the movie and then an after party that we get to enjoy together. I don't know how I want to completely plan for that, but that is the idea, and I'm hoping to be able to encourage a lot of people to be involved in that as well. But it will also be a watch party, so you'll be able to watch it online with us together and be able to be part of some of the casual conversations. Some of the things that I have in store for that idea is that each one of the tables would have an interactive like laptop so that people can kind of look down and see what chat is being said at that table, like being part of the conversation and having a couple microphones there and stuff. So it would be kind of a great experience to bring some of you guys to meeting more people and being able to enjoy what's on the big screen. So let's pin that for now, but that is an encouraging idea that I hope to be able to produce for everybody. Dune is like one of my favorite stories out there, just like Lord of the Rings, just like Harry Potter, just like Star Wars. There's so many different big epic stories out there that are coming out in the future and has come out since the past. So it's been a great ride thus far. Oh man, has it been a great show. Thank you so much for coming, guys. I know it's a little bit early. It's not I didn't go all the way to the end, but I have a jam-packed day and the center is bustling. I can already start hearing people moving through the hallways, and I don't really want to interrupt these people when they're starting their day, and trying to enjoy, working in peace. So with the amount of traffic that's going on outside and needing to get some things done, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. So that's a wrap on this Friday's You, Me, and Mr. Coffee. We hit the Northern Lights, a rocket company that raised $500 million. Scary movie coming back from the dead. Taylor Swift going country for Toy Story. Death Cab and Modest Mouse both dropping albums in the same day, and feeling like 2005 all over again. The Knicks stealing game 1 against the Spurs, and they're having their game 2 tonight, so make sure that you watch it. It's a good Friday to be alive. Go and enjoy your weekend. Go and see game 2. And we're definitely going to have an amazing time together on Monday. Come back to us next week, Monday, on the 8th. We're going to have another show for you guys. Without further ado, my name is Zylarona, and I've had a fantastic week with you. Let's keep it going tomorrow with Gaming with XO on Twitch, and as well as seeing what comes out. And I promise, as soon as I can, I'm going to work all day. Today is the website day. It's going to try to get the website up and running and going and doing great things and getting you all the content that you deserve. So keep a beat on it. Go to this website, at least have it in your browser ready to go, and whenever you get a chance, head over to also our Discord and stay up to date on the things that we're doing there. Once the website stuff is done, I really try to get this out there as fast as I can. Once the website is done, I'm working on Discord, because that's going to be important, because Discord's going to integrate the chat into the website, so you only have to go to the website. And the idea for all of this, so everybody is tracking, is that we're going from being dependent on Discord and having it on a one place there in the on the website, which has more things that you can do and experience and have part of your day, and then turning that into an app you can have on your phone and be able to ingest. Whether you're on the website or on the app or on Discord, you'll be able to be connected on all platforms, and that's been the big goal of the member area, and it's going to unveil over time. So I hope you guys do enjoy the content that is going to be coming up soon, as well as some of the things that we have planned to reveal about the Outer Exodus project. If you want to be an investor, if you're watching this and you're just trying to check me out and you're wanting to invest in what we're doing, there, just reach out to me at castudios@goldenmillennia.com. Please do that. I would love to be talking about some sponsorship opportunities as well as investment opportunities for us moving forward and helping out our hopefully growing studio, and going in the right and positive direction. And speaking about positive directions, I hope you all go in a positive direction this weekend and have a great time, make good choices, and do great things. For two individuals out there, I love you, I miss you, and I really want you guys to be happy and healthy as well, and having good and positive days. For the rest of you, I'm Zylarona. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for a great episode. See ya on Monday. Well, also tomorrow. If you're going to watch me gaming, or you're going to join me gaming, go to that too. But we'll see you on You, Me, and Mr. Coffee, June 8th, Monday. See you later. Peace.